The beauty of the hybrid is it feels more like hitting an iron than it would a 5 wood. You've got all the same benefits of a 5 wood. You've got height, you've got better hitting conditions from the rough, but it feels like you are more in control. It's not quite as long a club, and it's got the accuracy much more of an iron than it would a wooden club. So a great thing around the greens. We have all these, I call them smelly little lies around the greens, and literally you can just turn it up, use the hybrid like a putter, and all of a sudden you've got a club that goes from 220 yards and you can turn it into a chip master just by using it around the greens. It's a great club to chip with. Well, I think the lesson is that the majority of the pros, we all do carry a hybrid nowadays. They make so many elements. Long iron play is one of the hardest elements of golf. You've got to be so precise. It makes that part of the game easier, with some added benefits as well. That the playability of them is fantastic. So all these great ball strikers, they're using one, and they're the best players in the world. So I should think if the tour pros think it's a good idea, then it's definitely a good idea for the average 15 handicapper. You'll find a lot of guys have 2 or 3 of them. I carry two hybrids, and there's many guys on tour that will carry literally 4 or 5. And some of the guys, their longest iron is a 5 iron, if not a 6, believe it or not. And that's professional golfers we're talking about there. So really don't feel embarrassed about putting 3 or 4 in the bag. If it's good enough for the likes of Shingo Katayama or Paul McGinley, Philip Price, then I'm sure it's good enough for your average player. So get the Adams Rescues in the bag all the way up from, I would suggest, 18 degrees up to 24, 26. I'm carrying the Adams Mini Pro Hybrid, 18 degrees, and I like it. It's got all the usual benefits of a hybrid, with some added benefits here. The speed pocket that sits just behind the face here really makes sure the ball speed stays very constant, even with off-centre hits. So I find that my distance control for such a long shot, I'm trying to hit this club 225 yards, it's really consistent, even if I don't hit the ball right out of the centre. If I was trying to use a 3 iron and I didn't quite strike it, that distance would drop by a good 10 or 15 yards. With the Adams Hybrid, that doesn't happen. With my 18 degree hybrid, I normally carry 2 18 and 20. The 18 degree, 225 yards if I absolutely nut one. 220, I'm fairly confident I'll get every time. So that's what I'm trying to get. And obviously then, it's a lot easier to hit from the rough as well. I'm not going to get quite that full distance, but I'm going to be able to hit it probably 30 yards more than I could hit an iron from the heavy rough that we have week in, week out.